Okay. Hi, Mike. How's it going?
Pretty well, Doc. Pretty well. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too. I know it's been about a week and a half since we've seen each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
How's everything been going since we last talked?
It's going well, but there's a lot of moving parts that just feel like they're unsettled. I'm thinking my mom passed away about a month ago, just a little over a month ago. And as we were speaking before, she's 89. She had a ton of problems going on with her. Yet physical problems, but she still had her smarts. My dad as well. They both living at the house, and she caught COVID and I mean she had lymphoma, so she had like no immune system. As soon as she caught the lymphoma or that bug, and then it went into pneumonia. You know, it's like we knew that this was just kind of the beginning of like an active dying.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've worked with fellas in my religious community for the last number of years who I've accompanied in their dying, and I've experienced everything from grace upon grace to pure hell. You know, when it's just person's in pain and discomfort and nothing seems to be working, and so I've seen bad dyings. I've been with in bad dyings, and my big hope was that my mom's passing would not be like that. I was pretty severely traumatized by that work for a number of years, and so when she passed quickly, with my brothers and sisters and dad and niece around her, comfortable, not in any pain, and quickly, I was happy as a clam. I mean, happy, joyful that her passing went quickly and that she's with the Lord. You know, and that's what I believe. I'm a Jesuit. I'm in a religious order. I've been a Catholic all my life, and I have a very, very strong relationship with the Lord, and I think He would say the same thing. And so that kind of joyfulness came about because I made the point of saying, I'm going to look for the consolations and the graces in this period. You know, her active dying, her passing, the funeral, and it was a graceful number of weeks. But what I've been noticing is I have not felt like I've been grieving. And coming here to school yesterday, I'm on the phone with my dad, and I'm excuse me, and I'm saying, Dad, you know, I was going through a bunch of photos, our family photos on the computer, and I just realized just how in every single photo with Mom, she's got this huge smile on her face. And just how, and I'm just kind of realizing her family was everything to her. And yeah, and so here I am. I'm driving down I-75, coming down here from Clarkston, and you know, and I'm crying up a storm, and it felt good to be. It felt good to be shedding the tears. It's like that was down below, and it had to take its time to come up. And it came up yesterday, and I'm just so grateful for it, because what it came from was seeing lifelong pictures of her and her smile. That's, you know, it's like that's what I miss. So I'm just kind of that happened a couple days ago, and you know, I don't know what to do next. You know, I don't want to be like a busybody griever kind of person. How to just respect it. And anyways, in some ways, Doc, I just needed to share that because I haven't said it to anyone else. I haven't.
Well, that takes a lot to share, so I am thankful that you chose to share that with me.
Thank you.
But I do want to ask you, what does grieving look like for you? Or when you think
For
about
5
grieving?
years?
Yeah.
It was traumatic grief pushed down.
Mm-hmm. And these are from your previous experiences?
From the guys that I was accompanying, you know, probably 40 guys.
Mm-hmm.
All old timers, no one like dying in their 20s or anything, but you know, guys just dying from old age and you know the physical conditions that cause that. And typically, what I would do is when my friend passed, I'd be like, okay, I got to take some time away.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to go. I wouldn't go to the funeral. Wouldn't go to the wake. I would talk with fellas about it. But it was like, I just sat with this guy for the last 2 weeks, holding his hand, talking with him,
Mm-hmm.
praying with him, helping clean him, you know, with the nurses' aides and all this, and feeding, and talking with the docs, making sure he's well cared for. And I would just, when that was done, I was just like, okay, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess in some ways I didn't really process it. And I couldn't because they just, 2 days later, here's another guy. A month later, here's another guy. And so it was kind of like this, you know, traumatic stress responses that would come up. Well then, after this, in my mom's passing, I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to be grieving.
Mm-hmm.
To your question, I just don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Do you think that you had an expectation because of your prior experience, but maybe it's a little bit different since your mom passed in a way that you wanted her to?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the graces that the Lord provided, was just that there is His presence in these situations.
Mm-hmm.
Not all the time, but like I needed to see that, I needed to experience that, and I received it. So that sits with me as just kind of like a awesome experience of my mom's relationship with our family, my mom's relationship with the Lord, my relationship with the Lord. It just got all revealed in that time. You know, all the extraneous kind of silly BS that's about life
Mm-hmm.
got pushed to the side, and it was just to the essentials.
So when we first started talking, you said you felt unsettled because of the grieving and you weren't really sure where to go. Do you think that there's a chance that you feel a little more settled because of the way that she passed?
Big time.
Yeah.
What I think is unsettling is just that grief experience from yesterday that I experienced. Can't control this stuff.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to be able to mourn her in that way again,
Mm-hmm.
with tears.
With that positive
Happiness.
experience. Yeah.
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 And I guess, you know what, as we're sitting, I was able to do that without getting freaked out or
Yeah.
shutting down. Yeah.
So it seems like you have a positive feeling with that,
Oh, absolutely.
with that grief.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So just to kind of recap everything that we talked about today,
Sure.
we're kind of feeling unsettled just because of your previous experiences with grief and what you went through in your work.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit traumatic. And this experience that you've been having with your mom is very different.
It is.
It is? Okay. But in a good way.
It is. In a very good way.
Good. and you were able to experience grief in a more positive way.
In a very good way. Yes, yes, yes.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think, you know, maybe thinking about your mom in the coming weeks, you know, remember that positive grief feeling.
Yeah.
And that's something that we can talk about
Okay.
in the next session.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much. I appreciate your counsel. Okay.